All right, we got Broken Arrow head coach David Alexander on the line. Their spring game coming up later on today at 2 o'clock there at Memorial Stadium. We'll be out there checking out this year's version of the Broken Arrow Tigers. Hey, Coach, first off, thanks for taking some time this morning to talk a little Broken Arrow football with us.
Hey, good morning, guys. Glad to do it.
Now let's start on offense, and let's start up front because, as you know, and for those of you, our listeners who don't know, David Alexander graduated from TU, offensive lineman, played several years in the NFL. So the guy knows offensive lineman. Rowdy Frederick up front for you guys is just a mammoth of a man. Missed some time last year as a junior because of an injury. How special could Rowdy be if he avoids that injury bug?
Well, he can be very special because God just gifted him with things he doesn't give many people. He's 6'4.5", and he's 330 pounds, and he's a great athlete, which is surprising for me to say probably, but he can jump up on a 40-inch box and do full front squat, power cleans with 350 pounds, and he's a special kid.
Now, the running back position is one that I like for you guys. With Jamal Shaw back, the guy is explosive. He's played the last couple of years. Split time because you've had so many other guys and had a little running back carousel going on with guys like Warren Leak in the past couple of years. But Jamal Shaw has a chance to break the record of Devin Thomas, which he just set the career record a couple of years ago. It might only stand for about 2 years, as Jamal Shaw has a chance to break it this year as a senior. Running behind Frederick in that offensive line, do you put more of a priority on running the ball offensively with Jamal?
Well, obviously we've got to get the ball in Jamal's hands as many ways as we possibly can. For him to set the career rushing record, he'll have to barely break the single season rushing record that Devin set a few years ago, a little over 1,700 yards. Devin did that in 14 games, and even if we're lucky enough to get there, it'll be only a 13-game season. Mm-hmm. So Jamal will have to have a great year. Now, he is big, he is strong, and he is fast. He's gotten himself up to 195 pounds. He just has had a great winter and a great spring. And honestly, the sky's the limit for him. So, yeah, we're going to get the ball in his hands a lot.
Hey, David, it's Ben Johnson. Thanks for coming on with us this morning.
Welcome.
With a lot of the athletes you have on this team and guys like Jamal Shaw, does a kid like Gage Kaiser kind of get lost in the mix on the defensive side of the ball? I'm just looking at his stats right now: 101 tackles, 17 sacks last year. I mean, those aren't numbers to sneeze at, and yet a lot of the other guys kind of get some of the headlines.
Well, obviously not to me. He
Sure.
doesn't get lost. Now everybody, fans that watch games and just football fans, they want to look and talk about offense. But as football coaches, we know where the games are won and lost. Jamal's not going to get any yards if Rowdy doesn't block, and Jamal's not going to get any yards if our defense can't get off the field. And Gage last year, even though all the great things that Jamal did, Gage was our most consistent, our most maybe productive player. He was the only guy last year that played both ways for us. He started every snap or played every snap at defense, and then he played, maybe 20% of the snaps on offense. And he'll do the same thing again for us this year. Now, we may have one or two more guys that play both sides of the ball, but Gage definitely will.
Coach, we're talking with Broken Arrow head coach David Alexander here on the OK Preps Roundup, talking a little bit about BA football before they have their spring game later on today. Coach, give us an update on the quarterback position. I know you have some talented guys there. Do you have a competition going on? Do you know who your starter? Let's say, week one was next week. Do you know who the guy is at QB?
Well, man, I hate to have the pressure of week one being next week because quarterback is the only position on our team where we don't have somebody starting coming back. We've got 9 starters on defense coming back, and we got Rowdy and 2 or 3 other offensive linemen coming back, all our wide receivers coming back. So we are having a competition. We've got senior Zach Salee and junior Cade Yeager. Both of them have had great winners. They both have very similar strengths. Their strengths, really, their leadership and their calmness under fire. And that's what we're looking for. We're going to play some big games right out of the chute. We're playing Owasso, and we're going to Coppell, Texas, and then Union. And, we need a guy back there and we're going to put a lot of pressure. We've put a lot of pressure on him this spring to be calm, make decisions when things are hectic around them, and we've created kind of an atmosphere of practice of, high intensity just to see how those 2 guys will react so we can pick a starter. And hopefully we got more time than next week to be ready.
Yeah. Luckily you do. Yeah, you have the entire summer plus August before week 1 against Owasso. Wanted to get your take on that though. With all the additions to the facilities there at Broken Arrow, with the indoor facility, which is one of the best in the country, I'd say, for high school football.
Yeah.
I doubt that there's anything else out there, especially in this region of the country, maybe down in Texas, who knows. And also with the addition to assistant coaches on your staff, like Bobby Klink, who's such a great coach, to be able to have him as defensive coordinator, getting a guy like Adam Blankenship, who this time last year was recruiting guys from Broken Arrow as a TU coach, to get guys like him on the staff. Does it feel like Broken Arrow now has the foundation with facilities, with a great coaching staff, to make a run to possibly, joining Jenks and Union at the top of Class 6A in Oklahoma?
I'm going to answer that 2 parts. First, the facilities. The new administration that came into place at Broken Arrow 5 years ago, they wanted to build up the athletic programs, not just football, all the athletic programs, as well as Broken Arrow has done in the past, and the fine arts side, the choirs and the bands, and everything. All those programs have done such a great job for many, many years.
Uh-huh.
So our facilities, yes, are second to none anywhere around here. There's probably only one place right now that has anything like this, and that would be Oklahoma State University. I get colleges and university coaches in here every day begging for something just like this. But our superintendent, they turfed the baseball field and turfed the softball field, and, we built a track on the high school campus. So, our facilities here at Broken Arrow are now second to none. And that will pay off for me and my staff and all the kids in all athletic programs at Broken Arrow for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my staff goes, wow. When you look at, we had a staff meeting yesterday getting ready for the spring game today. The amount of football that's been coached between those men in that room is really pretty staggering. Almost every guy in my room has coached college football. All of them have played college football. I got a couple guys that have even spent a little bit of time in the NFL. So, between we've got a bunch of Tulsa University alumni too, between Bobby Klink and Steve Craver, myself, Jake Alexander. We've got a lot of guys that played at University of Tulsa. We've got a great staff. I think I was able to hire some of these guys because they saw what the administration done Broken Arrow with the commitment to athletics, and hopefully maybe they wanted to be a part of being with Coach Alexander and trying to figure out if we can turn the corner and compete with Jenks and Union.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing what the future holds for Broken Arrow. It looks like the foundation is there, and the future is definitely bright at BA. And I'm looking forward to getting out there this afternoon and checking this year's version of the Broken Arrow Tigers out, getting some highlights, doing some interviews. So looking forward to seeing you out there this afternoon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the phone call.
Thanks, David.
This Broken Arrow head coach David Alexander joining the program.